Hello, fellow murderers. Today is Sunday, June 2nd, 2024, and it's a great day to solve murder. Today we have deductive logico in the case of the frosting, and we have three 6x6 grids with suspects, locations, and weapons. We are, of course, in our luxury high-end rich people prison, so a lot of these will look familiar, including the suspects, who are all suspects from the past week. Although I'm looking at Coach Raspberry, maybe I just don't remember, but I don't remember Coach Raspberry from this last week, but maybe y'all do. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Anyway, so we've got Murdle Volume 3 as the murder weapon today, based on our red clue. So we can say Murdle Volume 3 was our murder weapon, and we will use our clues and evidence and our detective's notebook to figure out who had Myrtle Volume 3 and where they were. All right, so let's go ahead and meet today's suspects, although again, we should be familiar with them from this week, except again, Coach Raspberry is really sticking with me. I don't remember seeing Coach Raspberry, but other than that, we have Coach Raspberry, Dr. Crimson, Chef Aubergine, Vicomte Eminence, Lord Lavender, and Vice President Mauve. And I will say I do love the color scheme that's going on here. It's very, very soothing palette. And our weapons today are Myrtle Volume 3, a diamond-encrusted skeleton key, exploding cufflinks, a poisoned birthday cake, a pair of literal golden handcuffs, and a shiv made from a Mont Blanc. All right, our locations today are the rec room, the tennis court, the spa, the guard tower, the Michelin-starred cafeteria, and the movie theater. All right, let's check out our clues and evidence. Frosting was found indoors, so that's going to be the poisoned birthday cake. So let's figure out which of our locations are indoors. We've got indoors, outdoors, indoors, 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 and we're back at indoors. So unfortunately, this is only telling us that the cake could not have been on the tennis courts and doesn't give us additional information for now. So we'll cross that out. Next, we have an anagram clue. And okay, this is going to be pretty easy because it's very familiar clues here. A stain from very expensive ink, so that's going to be the Mont Blanc. We'll say the ink is pricey, but very expensive ink is a very common clue for the shiv made from a Mont Blanc. Was discovered beside a non-GMO dinner, another classic for this puzzle, or this puzzle setting, I should say. We have the Michelin-starred cafeteria. Non-GMO is a common clue to direct you to the cafeteria. So we have the shiv made from the Mont Blanc in the cafeteria. We'll cross that out. A single cufflink was discovered wet, another classic clue type for this puzzle setting. So discovered wet means it was in the spa. Everything in here is wet. So single cufflink, that's going to be in the spa. This fingerprint was found on a pair of literal golden handcuffs. So let's check this out. That looks like it's going to be Chef Aubergine, kind of like that 6 pattern here. None of the others look similar, so I'm pretty certain that's going to be Chef Aubergine with a pair of literal golden handcuffs, which is this little padlock icon here. Lord Lavender had never been on the tennis court. Okay, Lord Lavender, not on the tennis court. The other suspect with the same height as Chef Aubergine was seen hanging around in the guard tower. Okay, so Chef Aubergine is 5'2", and let's go ahead and see who else might be 5'2". Oh, Vicomte Eminence. Okay, it's got to be Vicomte Eminence in the guard tower. Okay. And let's just check real quickly the things we can kind of cross off for Vicomte Eminence, knowing his location now. We can say that Vicomte Eminence was not in the spa and therefore did not have the exploding cufflinks, and was also not in the non-GMO cafeteria and did not have the shiv made from the Mont Blanc. Dr. Crimson had a weapon made of plastic. Okay, let's check out the weapons. Paper, metal. Oh, here we go. The shiv made from the Mont Blanc is made partially from plastic. The composition question came up on Reddit the other day saying if it's made of or made partially of. So this is a classic example where you can kind of ignore the lead in here. So made of or made at least partially of. You can see this just says made of plastic, so you may be tempted to look for something only made of plastic, but this is made of metal and plastic, and there's no other weapon that even includes plastic. So we know this has to be it, and that also tells us for future reference, made of is essentially the same as made, at least in part of. So quick aside there, but I've been noticing that trend and wanted to keep calling it out because it can be a bit confusing otherwise. So we've got Dr. Crimson with the Shiv made from the Mont Blanc, which means Dr. Crimson was in the non-GMO cafeteria. A loose diamond, that's going to come from the diamond encrusted skeleton key, was found by a video game console, and that's going to be in the rec room. You'll see video games. So diamond encrusted skeleton key in the rec room. So we can also eliminate Vical Eminence as the holder of the diamond encrusted skeleton key. And well, we can say for sure Chef Aubergine was not in the rec room. And then these two are already reflected because we know their locations. I think that's about it. Okay. Vice President Mauve brought exploding cufflinks. Very straightforward. So we'll give Mauve the exploding cufflinks and put Mauve in the spa. Chef Aubergine was seen hanging around in the movie theater. Chef Aubergine in the movie theater. Okay, this is going to round some things out here. So now we've got, let's see, Coach Raspberry on the tennis courts and Lord Lavender in the rec room. So that's going to give Lord Lavender the skeleton key. And let's also put Aubergine in the theater over here. Okay, so this gives the cake to the guard tower. So that's going to be Vical Eminence with the cake. And then tennis courts to Myrtle Volume 3. There we go. Coach Raspberry is the murderer this week with Myrtle Volume 3 on the tennis courts. Let's go ahead and mark that in. Coach Raspberry with Myrtle Volume 3 on the tennis courts. And that was really just a process of elimination solve at the end. We had a few more things to fill out, and as they all went into place, it left only those options for the murder weapon and also Coach Raspberry. So we were able to put Coach Raspberry on the tennis courts with Myrtle Volume 3. All right, so let's see if we were right. All right, we were right. Thanks so much for playing along with me today. I'd love to see how you did. You can say share how you did and copy it to the clipboard, share it in a comment. It's always fun to see how people do, and we'd love to see you tomorrow.